Hi. Turn on this camera. There. Okay, I'm gonna show you the monome sequencer now. I'll try to keep it short, but I probably won't. I'd be happy if you bear with me. I am very happy that you liked the video, the first look at it, and that you like polyrhythmus. Makes me very happy. Thanks. And okay, so the monome is mapped out to some software instruments now. It's actually intended to be, or I will be using it with other instruments, but it works one way or the other. So the basic setup of the grid is there's the top 12 rows are sequences. And you have 3 layers of these 12 rows, which means you basically have 36 rows, 36 sequences. You have, so I'll show you there, I set something up here, I set something up here, change the length, whatever. Go here, do something else. So my fourth layer of sequences is a mix up of these 3. So you can, on this layer, you can say like, I want this to be here, here, here. I want this to be here, 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 and so on. So you have like an overview to quickly access all your 3 sequences at once, all your 3 sets of sequences at once. Because my main intention or my idea was maybe one set of 12 sequence for like drums, another set of 12 for melody instruments, and possibly you want to be able to mute and demute steps very quickly of all these layers, of all these sequences. So that's what this is for, but we can ignore that for now. There are 2 views. Well, basically the sequencer has, this doesn't work yet, very, very buggy, I can tell you. You basically have 2 views. Currently the top grid, top 12 rows are split into 12 steps and 4 columns of other functions, which are, oh, right, this pulse is a playback just to show you the rhythm, so, show you the main rhythm. However, currently the last 4 columns are mapped out to mute and stuff. There, let's put it back to here, right. Right, you can turn on sequence, you can solo them, you can do quick edits like turn all on and all off and stuff, whatever. So this is a the solo, but you could turn that off, and now you have 16 steps. Actually, you have 64 steps, so you can scroll your steps and stuff. Right. Okay. Let's focus on one sequence. Changing the length, the thing is it has very many possibilities to change the rhythm and timing and stuff. You can basically have minimal shifts in BPM per sequence, so you can very, very easily achieve phasings, melody phasings or whatever. Counterpoint is very, very simple. So let's look at this. It's muted there. So I'm playing a note there. Pressing this button, last 3 rows are functions. Pressing this button, I can change the length of the sequence. Got 7 steps now. Put it here. There, sorry. Whatever. There, okay. Same for all, whatever. Can do many. There, okay. Each sequence has various parameters. Obviously, very, very common parameters such as notes and duration and velocity, but far more than that. Let's first look at how to change notes on a sequence. So down here are my parameter layers, so to speak. Initially, sequence 1 is selected, which you can see here. but I can change this. Now I'd select sequence 2. They're still, as I said, very buggy. If I would like to change notes for sequence 3, I'd press a button and choose sequence 3. And now I'm on the notes layer for sequence 3, but let's go back to sequence 1. So I'm editing notes for sequence 1 now. My notes are aligned this way, so as you can see, my first row slips down into my 13th row, so I can still edit steps. Okay. Here's my octave of notes. I've got it's being scaled right now, but ignore that. So I could set my octave of notes here. We choose this there. Okay. So as you can see, these two steps now align to these notes. But the clue is, or what I find is like the main, is a very cool thing about the sequencer is that I can assign a different length to all these layers. I can assign different lengths to all these layers. Sorry for my English. So I could now say, while my main steps, so my toggle steps, so to speak, have a length, you have a view grid. So while my toggle steps, turning my sequence on off, have 4 steps, I can change the length of my notes to, for example, 6 steps. So now I already have a counterpoint of 4 and 6. And it's a simple concept. So maybe you got it already, but so my my step sequence, my toggle sequence has 4 steps. Let's put this to 3 right there. My note sequence though has 3 steps. So while my step sequence is playing 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, my note sequence is actually playing 1 2 3. Sorry, 1 2 3. Once again. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. I could place a 5. Let's say I'll put it this way. Okay. I'll place in. Now I'm entering the octave layer of this sequence. Let's say I put this to 5. Okay. So I'll say I want 5 steps of octave. So my octaves will be playing 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. So for example, like this. Okay, you've got more layers. You've got a velocity layer. You've got various possibilities of quick editing a layer or a sequence. So let's say I want like a ramp of I want a ramp for my velocity. One of these buttons is assigned to quick editing function, so I press this, and you can build something like this, whatever. And it is logically continued throughout your whole sequencer. Okay. So right, I'll cut this back. I want to build something like this. Okay. I am entering the duration layer now. There. So now I'm in the duration layer. And I can do the same procedure as before. Okay. You have a chord layer. On this chord layer, you can pre-assign the whole interface is completely like completely unlinked. It's basically almost no user interface. It's all done with lists and stuff being passed on, which is and was a hassle. However, but you have a visual interface for setting up chords, so you can predefine which of these 12. Right, you can predefine 12 chords. Let's make the sequence a little bit more simple. Let's give it a little bit slower there. Maybe make the whole thing a little bit slower. Wait a sec. This is one of the things you do in the interface as well. So, chord layer. Let's say this one should be a chord. The thing with the chords is these chords are automatically transposed to the note that is currently played. So let's say you're playing a C major or whatever, you can set the chords up. If the note that is played in this moment is a F sharp, your chord will be transposed to F sharp. That's why sometimes, or for this purpose, it can be useful to use like scaling or something. Okay, so right, you have a let's simplify it a little again. So go back to no chords. You have the possibility of synchronizing all these parameters, because obviously it can be very confusing if at some point you have 7 rhythms. I'm sorry, my camera just stopped. Okay, so I was it's like if at some point you have 7 different timings and bars for all your parameters, it can be confusing. So if you press if you enter this mode, you can say you can synchronize the modes to the steps. So I can now they would be all in sync again. So if now I change the length of my steps, my notes or all the modes that are in sync here are changed too. If I change my notes, my steps will be shortened. So right, we've synced them up. Let's up there. That was wrong. You have a layer for control change messages, which is here, and you have a layer for delay, which is here. So now I could say I want I'm going to delay some steps, and you can build your own like shuffle algorithms or swing algorithm. Same game, you can change the length, make it a 5 shuffle, which will sound strange. Now, always if this is hit, everything is delayed. You have I took the delay out again. I'll put a chord in because it sounds nice. You have a micro timing layer, which is here. So currently all 4 steps are on. That's why my 4 rows are flashing. I could change this. Now I have to change the sequence length or put it to this. Put it back to 4. As you can probably see, if only the first one is on, my first row is playing. to normal. You can do a lot, right, beyond these parameters. You have more possibilities, such as, for now, like copying a step. Removing a step. You can, right, I could also copy the step over here or whatever. Now, you have more possibilities. Let's put on a second sequence. Oh, there. Okay. Why does this sequence sound different? Because it's on a different MIDI channel. Here are my MIDI channels. If I enter this mode. So here are my 12 sequences. Sequence 1 goes out to MIDI channel 1, sequence 2 to MIDI channel 2. You can assign them to several sequences, you can switch them, whatever. Now they're both playing 1 and 2. You can, right, here you've got, no, let's go here. This is your global, like, this is your tempo, your timing layer. And you can really fine adjust the tempo. Now this is pretty rough. Like, give me a second. If you press Shift, you get into the like micro timing stuff. And if you press both shifts, you get into even deeper micro timing. If we listen on, you'll notice at some point a very slight drift. So back to normal. This is a timing layer for each sequence, right? This we can ignore for now. This is your transposition layer, so I can transpose sequences. That's so we can hear this better. Okay, I'm transposing it. I can go octaves up, octave down. If I want to pitch it like several tones down, I go this way, several tones up. You have a looper. Now I want to like play melody. Right? You can overdub loops. You can layer 8 loops. You can overdub them. They can have different timings. You can even overdub loops to existing loops and give them another timing. So let's do something with this one. Give me a sec. Let's give it a shorter timing. It will probably sound shitty, but so this is armed, and I'll start the recording. It didn't work because it's scaled. And I say, oh, the one really sucked, I'm going to correct it. Now I can add another loop that basically changes the timing of this loop, like change the transposition of this loop, but in another timing, let's say. Okay, whatever. Actually, I think the last loop is really bad, so I'm gonna delete it. Oh, this was wrong. I'm gonna delete both loops. There, make a new one. Okay, you've got a layer for resets. Now let's make this more complicated. On this layer, I can say I want these sequences to be reset after 8 steps. Here's my, like, after 8 counts, so to speak. Now I'd reset everything. I'll turn this thing off. See how I'll turn everything off. Wait. Okay. So now I'm in the reset layer. This is a multiplier of this, so if I go here, now they reset every 16 beats. I can, for example, say let's give this a little bit of melody. I can set really slight differences in resetting, like now reset at 8, reset at 4, sorry 5, at 4, at 3, at 2, at 1. Now reset 1 at 8 and 1 at 7. See how this one always jumps back? Yes, that's roughly it. Thanks for bearing with me and sorry for the long video.